So I apologize right off the bat if this video is a little bit rougher around the edges than usual. And I obviously have not posted a video today because I was helping my mom move, and that just took everything I have out of me. At the same time, you got a weird snowstorm going on in Michigan, and it took like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get home. So a little bit tired here, but nonetheless, what we seen today with AMC stock was impressive. And I think that's the best way to put it. And it confirmed a lot to me. The data has been confirming a lot to me, but really today, and the last 3 trading days specifically, really helped to solidify my thesis a lot more, and I want to share that with you guys and give you guys the scoop on exactly what I am looking at. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. And first things first, what happened today in the markets? Well, it was really dominated by a lot of hawkish Fed speakers. So was yesterday. You got a lot of hawkish Fed talk, and anytime the Fed, don't matter who it is talking about a higher terminal rate, that's going to be negative. And that's what you have been hearing from Fed Daly, Fed Bullard, Fed Bostic. The only one that sounded a little bit on the dovish side over the last 2 days now has been the vice chair Brainerd, and she was the most dovish one, but still, you know, saying there's a lot more room to raise rates and that we're going to have to keep rates higher for longer. And that's the big story of really what has been happening as of recently. Now, what happened today is TLT dropped about 1.06%. That's a pretty big drop. And as you guys know, when TLT drops, that is negative for the markets. As you can see from this chart, it's pretty much been straight down throughout 2022. So has the stock market, and you got a nice little bounce from the bottom, and that's exactly what the stock market has done as well. So there is a very, very strong, a really historic correlation between the bond market and what bond yields are doing in 2022 and what the S&P 500 is doing as well. So when this goes up, that's bullish. When this goes down, that is bearish, and it was down 1% today. So no surprise, the markets were also down quite a bit. Same thing with the dollar, a very historical kind of trend, as well as what's going on with bond yields, right? The dollar has been going up really throughout all of 2022. It's been very negative when the dollar goes up, right? Dollar has started to fall. That's how you got a stock market rally over the last couple of weeks. And today, the dollar was up 0.38% in regular trading, up almost 0.5% in after hours. So again, no surprise why you've seen this very negative market that we did get today. Now, what is interesting about today, even though markets, let's go ahead and refresh this. Markets, let's see where we close exactly. Markets were down about 0.31% on the S&P, 0.35% on the NASDAQ, and down about 0.76% with the Russell 2000. You've seen a lot of stocks get beaten into the ground today. The index really doesn't reflect that all too much because Apple did pretty well overall, and there's such a large market weighting. But some of the stocks that are more speculative, more in the risky sector of the stock market, did not do well today. And a lot of people group AMC in that category, but AMC today performed very, very well. Now, yes, I know AMC was still negative on the day. Obviously, that's a given. We were only down 1.86%, and after hours down 0.27%. But what is really key, and what or how AMC is confirming that this rally will have more legs to it and substantial legs to it from here, in my personal opinion, is how the actual price action is. If you guys look at the wicks over the last 3 days, the bottom of these wicks is essentially the low of that day. And what you've been seeing, and where, it comes back up, the solid level is the close. And what you're seeing is you're wicking down earlier in the day, but you're massively recovering those losses by the end of the day. You're showing a lot of resiliency on this technical 50-day moving average. And yes, we do still have the double bottom that is in effect, and that should, in theory, push us higher tomorrow. I did expect to see a stronger green day today, but you can only forecast so much negative Fed talk and negative earnings like we did get today. Nonetheless, the fact that AMC is recovering so strongly into the end of the day over the last 3 days and finding support every day at this 50-day moving average, literally to the cent, shows me that even though the markets are getting a little bit more negative, to say the least, over the last couple of days, AMC still holding very, very positive momentum. Now, if we can really head into tomorrow and stay above the 50-day moving average, typically, as you guys probably know, when that happens and when you can hold above the 50-day moving average, it always leads to a stronger rally in AMC stock. Just, it always does, right? Back here, same story, right? Literally back to the first rally in January of 2021. You were above the 50-day moving average. You held this level, found support, you fucking went crazy. Same thing back in June. You had resistance at the 50-day moving average, held it, kind of bobbed up and down, and you stayed above it. And then you went absolutely freaking parabolic. Same thing back here. Found resistance, found support, and then went, about 40% higher even from there. Same thing in August, same thing throughout all of 2022. It's the same story, and this time will be no different as long as we can hold above the 50-day moving average. And like you guys seen back here, even in September, we tried to break out above the 50-day moving average. It did not happen. You got rejected, and the rally subsequently failed from there. You're looking a lot better now than what we've seen in a very long time, and that gives me a lot more confidence putting some more money to work in potentially some AMC options as well. If you guys want access to all of my trades in real time as well, link down below in the description of this video. Come join the community if you guys want another tool in your tool belt, as Fed Jerome Powell would say, to conquer this market and make some additional money as well. So that is basically it for AMC on a technical basis. Not too much else to actually add, just besides how incredibly strong it does look. Now, as far as this whole crypto situation, it's not looking good. Crypto firm Multicoin expects contagion fallout from FTX to wipe others out. And that's very damning, as this article says, when you are hearing that kind of language, because the real problem with crypto and why it's going to be a thorn in the backs of investors for a very long time is simply because of the collateralization that happened over the last couple of years with crypto, right? If you had $1 billion in a cryptocurrency, just imagine you walk into a bank and you say, hey guys, look at this. I got $1 billion of this cryptocurrency. Dude, the bank's going to give you some serious cheddar cheese. When your cryptos get destroyed and firms are going bankrupt and literally billionaires are losing billions of dollars, there's no saying how much crypto or how much, NFTs or other speculative tokens or assets were collateralized and who is involved with that. You could have JP Morgan, Citibank, Bank of America. You could have Morgan Stanley. All of these guys, they could incur billions of dollars of losses, and that's obviously not going to be a good thing, and it probably won't come out for a while, and you're probably going to continue to see firms and other crypto exchanges going BK in the meantime. So watch for that. Any developments in the crypto world can definitely shake up investors and change the sentiment really on a drop of a dime. Now, as far as the Ortex data, this is looking very encouraging to me. You're sitting at 20% short interest of free float, about 103.5 million shares that are sold short, cost to borrow average at 82.68%, cost to borrow max at 233.07%, and cost to borrow minimum at 6.56%. Now, you are seeing cost to borrow rates, these live rates, all day at about 96%. That is super high, and that is showing just the degree of volatility and the way the markets are looking at AMC right now. When the cost to borrow rate's at 96%, the markets are looking at that like, hey, AMC, it's looking good. It looks like it's got some good momentum. Technically speaking, you can't say too many bad things about AMC. We're going to want a lot more interest to lend out our stock right now, because this thing is probably going to go much higher. And that is also something that should be very encouraging to all of you guys. If we look at the option activity for the day, 17 orders totaling about $500,000, positive order value of 23%. And that's been the generalized theme over the last couple of weeks, is not a lot of options are going through from institutional investors on AMC. And, the positive order value has been pretty low to reflect that also. Now, as far as the Stocko tracker data, heading into tomorrow, guys, you could see one of those mega bounce like days if the markets do somehow decide to go really bullish. And why do I say that? Because you have about 28,500 calls that are in the money and about 208,000 calls that are out of the money. That is a very high degree. If you can get back up to that $8 price, you could see a lot of hedging in a very short amount of time. And on the put side, you have about 46,000 puts that are in the money. A lot of those at that $8 strike that would also go out of the money and constitute some buying from market makers to de-hedge those put positions also. So that is really going to be all for this video. You really don't have too much as far as economic data for tomorrow. We can run through it briefly just to, give you guys the scoop. But it's pretty dry for tomorrow. You do have existing home sales for October, and that is expected to come in about 400,000 homes less, and that probably could be bullish for the markets. I'm not going to sit here and say that's going to be a huge catalyst. It's going to send stocks up massively, but this is what the Fed wants. If it's no surprise here that real estate is not looking so hot. So it could be bullish. Not really expecting a big 2-3% gainer on the markets because of it. But again, watch out for the negatives in the markets and watch to see how AMC does perform around that 50-day moving average. That is going to be the key. If you can hold that level into the close tomorrow, in which we will report to you guys exactly what's going on. If any news comes out or whatever else happens, we'll report that to you guys. But in your trading, if you're trading AMC, watch that 50-day moving average, guys. So I could ramble on and on and on and on. I am way too tired for that, though. So hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in that comment section. Like I said, if you guys want to come trade with me live in real time as well, link down below in the description of this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your nights, and I will see you in the next one.